What is going on, everybody? It's the Front, and we're here for an AEW on TNT review for March the 10th, 2021. The aftermath of what was really the most embarrassing nights in AEW history, with the bullshit that they pulled in the farce known as an exploding barbed wire death match. Did they apologize for the farce that they had? No, they didn't. You had Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston just throw Kenny Omega under the bus. But then later on in the show, they did the dumbest thing they could do, and they made a mockery of it. With Don Callis and Kenny Omega. And we'll talk about that in a bit. And after the embarrassment that happened on Sunday, AEW came right back with one of the best fucking endings in their company's history, with the Inner Circle War Council and what was going to and what's going to happen to the Inner Circle. Where did we see? And remember, would we see somebody get fired? What would happen to this in this segment? And it was, I guarantee you can look up and down boards. Nobody, and I mean nobody, saw this coming. No matter what anyone tells you, nobody saw what happened tonight coming. Also, Darby Allin puts his championship on the line after a grueling beatdown in a street fight this past Sunday against the winner of the Face of the Revolution ladder match in Scorpio Sky, in what can be solidified at the end as Scorpio Sky's absolute heel turn, which has been just come out of nowhere. And so much more happening tonight. And we also have Makito making her AEW TV debut. She made her debut on pay-per-view this past Sunday in a match that apparently she flew 18 hours before to get to said match. Tonight, she made her on-screen TV debut and had one of the funniest moments of the year so far, and we'll talk about that as well. But we start with, honestly, a damn good non-title match. The tag team champion, Matt Jackson, took on his opponent, sometime down the line, Rey Fénix. And what was it was a barn burner. These two went out there and just put Lucha Libre, like Luchador is a shame. Anybody who's a high flyer needs to sit there and watch this match because these guys went out there. How is Rey Fénix not in the conversation for a match for the World Heavyweight Championship? And I mean, I'm not saying a match, but a title run. Every single time this guy goes out there, he is burning that house down. He's tearing it down and showing us that this guy should be somebody the company lets him put the company on his back and carry them through months. Because this guy just... So, these guys went back and forth. There was a spot where they were Matt was pulled up, jumped up to the turnbuckle, onto the turnbuckle, middle rope, pulled Fénix up. They were fighting there. Big Hurricane Rana off the top. There was a point also towards the end of the match where Fénix went for a dropkick on the mat, who moved out of the way, and Nick was sitting outside. So Nick ends up eating a dropkick from Rey Fénix. So Matt decides, you know what? I'm going to take Pac out, and hits him with a super kick on the outside. Fénix just looks at him, says, he's pretty much motions, get in the ring. We're going to settle this right now. They go back and forth on each other. Couple counters into a super kick on Fénix. Fénix with a kick, eats a super kick. Kip up and nails Matt with a roundhouse kick to the head. Both try for super kicks and kick each other's legs. Fénix reverses Matt's power driver, throws his knees into Matt's head, and then nails a spike power driver for the 1, 2, 3. And when I say spike power driver, this motherfucker spiked his head into the mat. And there was no fucking way Matt was getting up from that. 1, 2, 3, and they win. So, hopefully it's the whole clip here. We hear from Jon Moxley, we hear from Eddie Kingston on what happened this past weekend in that embarrassment known as a barbed wire death match with the embarrassing ending.
Well, folks, here it is. The big explanation everyone wants to know about. It's a little embarrassing, but, you know, I'm me. When I went in that ring and I covered my friend thinking there was going to be this big explosion and all these fireworks, I caught a flashback to the last time I had this anxiety. Last time I had this kind of panic where I couldn't breathe. And that's when I was sitting in a jail cell getting ready for court. And I had the guards walking back and forth telling me, we're going to take you to Rikers, boy. We're going to take you to Sing Sing, boy. And everything went black. That's what happened. Go ahead and make fun of it. Call me a coward, less of a man. I'm not speaking for you, and I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to those that understand where I'm coming from. Kenny! You think this is a video game? Look at the heat. Look at the heat. That's what I felt in that ring. Look at these hands. I didn't scar them up playing video games. You think you're the Joker? You think this is funny?
No, I don't think he was joking. I think he was really going to try to blow me to King.
There's no way.
I think
he was
really
being the Joker, and you're Batman.
He wanted to blow. I like that, but I think he really wanted to blow me up for sure.
I don't think he's that nuts. 2020.
Look, I don't know who paid for that bomb. I hope Tony
Impact definitely did. You know that.
Impact paid for the bomb. That makes perfect sense. Let me ask you a question. When that bomb came in the mail, did it come in a box with big bold letters that said Acme on it? I've made more explosive volcanoes in 4th grade science class. What the hell was that? Look, I had an explosive barbed wire death match live on pay-per-view, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. It is a cool T-shirt, but I didn't win the World Championship, Ken. You were the better man that night at Revolution. But I did get a drinking buddy back. I knew that wasn't you, man. I knew that wasn't you out there. You know?
World title does crazy things to you,
you
know what I mean?
I know you.
You know.
I mean, you could have came out, you know, a little bit earlier. You know, I was getting the crap kicked out of me for about 18 minutes by 3 guys. But now I'm on pay-per-view. I got to get my eyebrows done. I got to put my Timbs on. I don't want to go out there.
You know my style, B. You know my style, man. It's 1998 forever in my head, B. I can't look bad on pay-per-view, huh?
I'm glad you didn't get blown up and everything.
Thank you. Same.
Even though I wanted to see a bomb go off. Like, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people did, though.
Look. Kenny, good brothers. If you're going to flash a weapon, you know this. Mm-hmm. You better use it.
So, good promo for these guys. He still doesn't. It's still unacceptable what happened at that pay-per-view. And the news is that Kenny Omega is pissed off about how things went off. Here's the thing, Kenny. Whoever signed off on doing that, if you're not going to have the bomb go off, then don't fucking do the match. And again, I'll say this like I said on Sunday. If you're not going to make this a feud ender, don't do the fucking match. If you aren't going to go through with the big explosion that the entire crowd was looking forward to, don't do the fucking match. If they plan to have Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega 3 at Double or Nothing or All Out, whatever the fuck they're going to do it, because you know it's going to happen, where Jon Moxley will most likely regain the championship, don't do an exploding barbed wire death match as the second match. Plain and simple. That was their mistake. We did, like, Tony Khan still needs to sit there and put it in video message, whatever. He needs to apologize to the fans for that, for just making a farce of that. And it gets worse later on in the night for that. But we're not going to talk about that. Again, good promo. Could we see a tag team between these two in the coming weeks? We'll find out next week, and we'll talk about that later. So, for whatever reason, Cody decides to come out and have a match against Seth Gargis, whoever this guy is. I guess he's been in tag team matches on Dark lately. Not much you can say about that, but didn't last very long. Gargis gets put into a power slam, into a figure 4, and that was that. After the match, though, whoa, buddy. Tony Schiavone comes out to have a talk with him, and then something crazy happens.
No. Cody. Ven, Alex, ven. Ayúdame, por favor, ven.
Just so you know, Pentagon Jr., Penta El Zero was on commentary for the Spanish portion of this. So him, Alex, and maybe Dasha were out there calling matches. And for whatever reason, he gets up to start shit with Cody.
Cody! Shut up. Dile que yo soy 1000 veces mejor que él. Cody, Penta says that he's 1,000 times better than you.
Alex just looks like he's having so much fun in this segment.
Y ahora dile que si él se dice ser el príncipe del pro wrestling, yo soy el lord de la lucha libre. Penta says that if you're the prince of pro wrestling, then he's the lord of lucha libre. Ven, Alex, ven. Alex, espérame. Yo puedo. Escucha, ¿eh? Let me speak your language, American Nightmare. Serious? You serious, Cody? At Revolution, you lost. Yeah, you lost.
Well, technically so did you. You were in that match as well.
And had it just been you and me in that ring, you all have lost more than the match. You know what? You know why? Penta says that you're lucky that he didn't focus on hurting your arm even more, because he would have hurt it so bad that you wouldn't be able to pick up your newborn baby girl.
Yes, Pentagon Jr., Penta went there. He actually attacked Cody personally. And I don't know where this came from, but it's going to lead to a match next week on a St. Patrick's Day edition of AEW on TNT. It is going to be Penta versus Cody Rhodes. Why? For the hell of it. But Alex Abrantes, I think is his name. Brontes, whatever the fuck you say his name, was just, you could just see the joy in his face getting to do that, the confidence he had. I could literally see if they wanted to have him be the translator for Penta. I don't know what's going on with Death Triangle, because you have Rey Fenix and Pac pseudo baby faces right now, even though Death Triangle should be a heel faction. And you have Penta here mixing it up with Cody Rhodes for some reason, which I don't understand why, what they're going to do. Is it just going to be a match next week and that's it? Because if that's the case, then fine, whatever, that's good for me. But yeah. So they don't have this clip here, but at the arcade, Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy, Chuck says the feud has gone far too long between them and Miro/Kip. Taylor offers up, how about one more match? If they lose, you know the thing I did, being your butler? I'll do that forever. But he said Orange had one of a really good idea. How about we put these arcade games around the ring, these things that you love so much, so we could put your heads through them. Then Cassidy takes his glasses off and says, and then we can break you. And that was that. So, again, I was hoping this feud would have ended at the pay-per-view. That match did not deserve to be on pay-per-view. I'm not a fan of Britt Baker. I think she sucks at what she does. She's not a good wrestler, but you had Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, and Maki Ito making her debut, by the way, and Riho all in a match on the buy-in when they could have been on the main card and showing you, and they deserve that spot over Miro, Kip versus Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. That's just my opinion. That match did not deserve to be there. So, that match was not made official for next week, so I have no idea when that match is going to happen. But that is probably going to be the next match. So, Tony Schiavone starts talking with Sting. He compliments Sting's effort in Sunday Street Fight. Sting says Darby is a dangerous man and put his life on the line every night. Not just, in more ways than one. Combining that with Sting in an environment like that, you're getting a win. Lance Archer comes out and says he's not given time, and and you're wasting my time, and if I don't get my time, I'm going to take more than just time. Tony says that's fine, but this is Sting's time, and Archer says, oh, I'm sorry. We'll give you your time. Robert takes the mic and says, bye, Stinger, and they head to the back. And Sting says, see you around, Tony. See you on the next one. So it looks like Sting's thing with Darby and Team Taz is done as it should be. And it looks like we're going to be heading towards Sting versus Lance Archer. How are they going to do that match? I don't know. I don't know if you're going to do another cinematic match with Sting. Sting cinematic match was fine. It was one of the best. The Boneyard match is still the benchmark, but I think in the AEW spectrum, this is probably the benchmark for the cinematic matches they did at this past pay-per-view. So, who knows what they're going to do. Backstage, Dasha's with QT Marshall asking about his actions this past week, and he said, my emotions got the best of me, and we'll work that out throws, but right now, it's all about Lee Johnson getting that win. Because Paige has a lot to get, like, Ethan Page has a lot to prove, because this is his first in-ring match in AEW, like, singles match, I should say. He was, of course, in the Face of Revolution ladder match, and here we go. So, this match is going to be known by everybody, because TNT, for whatever the fuck reason, decided that they must have been bored with the show or something, because out of nowhere, we're getting audio from an NBA game spliced in with this match. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on here? So, I couldn't even pay attention to this match just because that was getting so fucking annoying. Paige with a startup, a step in cutter on the apron, cover 2. Paige and Johnson up on the top rope. Johnson shoves him back. Johnson leaps up, comes down on the wrong knee. Referees check on him. Paige kicks the right to the face, hits the ego edge, which is the razor edge, and gets the pin. So Ethan Page gets the win. Don't even know what I could say about the match just because the audio was taking it out of me. Post-match, he stomps away on Johnson. QT Marshall does not do a damn thing as he's watching from the outside. Dustin runs in to make the save. QT Marshall is just walking away. Alex Marquez talks with Hangman Page, his big victory on Sunday. He says he gave most of it away to education funds, but he got himself a lawnmower. Dark Order shows up and is like, hey man, you got some room on that? And he's like, sure. So everybody comes on the lawnmower except for 5 tries to get on, and they're like, whoa, no, man. This got a weight limit. So they start driving away to go get ice cream, and 5 is just sitting there like, yeah, man, I'll catch you guys later. Poor Alan 5 Angels. Guy is going to be replaced by Hangman Page or something. Honestly, I'm just going to be honest about this. I don't know where you go with the Dark Order anymore. Brody was the stake that kept the tent of the Dark Order down in place and had them in a direction. Anna Jay's out with a shoulder injury. She's not going to be seen for a while, even though it's only a shoulder injury, so she could still be somebody there if they wanted to, but now she's off doing her thing, getting herself rehab and everything, or whatever else. Now, Dark Order just doesn't have any direction. They did the whole Hangman Page thing. What do you guys do with the Hangman Adam Page thing? What do you go from there? He accepted the Dark Order. Where do you go from here? So, let's talk about the dumbest thing in the fucking on the night. So, Tony Schiavone comes down, and he's supposed to talk to Christian Cage. We're going to hear from Christian for the first time this week. Out comes the Sweeper Gals of Kenny Omega. He comes out with the Good Brothers, Don Callis, and this went off the rails real quick.
It all went according to plan.
Maybe not everything, Mr. Callis.
Oh, that. You mean the explosion not heard round the world? Is that what you're talking about? The little sparkler routine? You know, I find it very interesting. Kenny Omega and I have taken a lot of heat the last few days from this company and from the fans. We were blamed for you not getting what you thought you wanted. You wanted to see a giant explosion, and we're taking the blame, right? Well, you know what? I'm not going to neither confirm nor deny whether we had anything to do with that. What I will confirm is how happy it made us to take away what you thought you wanted. We took away. Tony Khan loves to make great memories. Kenny Omega and the Invisible Hand make history. And that's what we did when Kenny beat Jon Moxley. That's what we do every night when we come out here. We took away Moxley's big moment to die the death he deserved as a hero. We took it away. We took away Eddie Kingston's star-making heroic moments. You see, when I did my MBA, I learned about win-win situations. I look at it like this, Kenny. If that ring had blown up, we win. Moxley's gone. Eddie Kingston is maimed. And you are the AEW World Champion and the King of the Death Match. But that's a win. But if the ring somehow doesn't blow up, we win even bigger because Moxley and Kingston look like a pair of idiots. And we walk out with this. So you see.
Yeah, when he said that Moxley looks and Kenny look like a pair of idiots, the look of joy on Omega's face kind of just disappeared because it's like, well, if they look like idiots, then I look like an idiot too. The whole company looked like idiots. I'm sorry. I will not forgive the company for pulling that farce off. Anybody who's ever watched a proper death match and wanted to see this match should feel embarrassed for what the company did that night. It was a mockery of that stipulation and should never, ever, ever be attempted unless you're going to do it proper, where you don't wrap the ropes in barbed wire. You replace the rings with barbed wire, all 4 sides, not 3, and the ring blows up. Dumb that they didn't do what they were supposed to do. But that's what they did. Eddie Kingston will come out. They don't have it on here because they only have 4 seconds left. He comes out here and Callis says some stupid shit to him. Kenny Omega gets the mic and tells Kingston, there's 3 or 4 of us in here who can kick your ass. You have your moment of the world champion. What are you going to do? You're not going to hit me. You're not going to do anything. Kenny's like, fuck it. Punches him. Brawls with the Good Brothers as he cold cocked Kenny Omega so hard he was down for a bit. So Moxley comes out. They brawl with the Good Brothers. They send them gone. So Christian finally comes out. And Kenny Omega goes to, talk with him, says some words to him, we don't hear it, puts his hand out to see if he wants to, shake hands. Christian's having none of that, ducks a punch, goes to put him hit the kill switch. Of course, Don Callis stops that, pulls Kenny Omega out, and the last thing we see on this segment is Christian Cage holding up the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Now, of course, anybody and their brother who comes here wants to be world champion, especially if you're somebody who wants to wrestle on a regular basis. Will Christian get a world title match? He shouldn't. But if, Omega wants to be the cocky heel to get, the guy who's easily talked into giving title matches, then yeah, it's fine if Christian puts over Kenny Omega. That's fine. If Christian loses to Kenny Omega in a title match at the next pay-per-view or something, it's fine because Kenny Omega really needs title opponents, and AEW really has done a piss-poor job trying to build anybody else up. Honestly, you could say Kenny Omega versus Cody, but that's right, Cody can't go for a world title match because of that stipulation. If he lost to Chris Jericho, he would never get another title shot, which they should have put, I won't wrestle for the world title for a year. That would have been so much better. Because now Cody is hampered by not being able to wrestle for the World Championship. And that takes away the fact that you're building this guy up, Cody Rhodes, as one of your top stars in this company right now. And he can't even vie for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, what's going to happen next week? Well, we have the Good Brothers versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston did not have the Butcher and the Blade with him because it looks like that partnership is done and over. Talk about that in a minute, why that's done. Eddie Kingston, 100% a babyface now. So, could we see Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston at Rebellion, where it has been announced that Kenny Omega will take on either Rich Swann or Moose, who, of course, it's going to be Rich Swann because that match was already taped. It'll be Rich Swann versus Kenny Omega for the Impact in AEW World Heavyweight Championships at Rebellion, in which, of course, Kenny Omega is most likely winning. And the belt collection will commence. But, well, we see possibly it end up being at that same pay-per-view. Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley versus the Good Brothers for the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Championships. Don't know. Britt Baker, Maka Ito, Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero versus Ryo Mizunami, Thunder Rosa, and Hikaru Shida. Best moment in the company so far this year. So, Nyla comes out, Baker comes out, Maka Ito comes out to sing her song as she does for her theme, for her entrance. Not 3 seconds into her theme, Ryo Mizunami, Shida, and Thunder Rosa run to the ring, start brawling with everybody else, while Maka Ito is standing on the stage still, singing her song. The bell hasn't even rung yet. She's just sitting there singing like nothing's going on. This woman is going to be all over Orange Cassidy levels within a month. Man, could you imagine if we had a full crowd here and this shit went on? This would be some of the best shit. So Shida comes up after Ito's done singing a song, and Ito just wails her a couple times. She hit her the first time. She actually hit her the first time with the microphone. After that, it looks like she wasn't actually hitting her, but still, funniest fucking shit I saw was Maka Ito just sitting there singing to the lyrics to the song, and then the song cut out, but she continued to go. Awesome shit. Now, this match didn't last very long. Thunder Rosa, Ryo Mizunami, and Shida won. Unfortunately, Maka Ito took the pinfall. Unfortunately, I don't think she should have. But Ito is able to hits a swinging DDT on Rosa, gets a 2 count. Rosa hits a Thunder Driver on Ito, gets the pin and the win. After the match, Britt Baker comes in, hits her with Rebel's crutch, puts her in the lockjaw, while Rebel and Vicky Guerrero stood stomping away on her, while Nyla Rose kept Ryo Mizunami and Shida away. This is going to lead to a blow-off match for these two next week. Next week, it's Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, no disqualification, lights out match. The main event of the St. Patrick's Slam, or whatever the fuck they're calling it, next week. It needs to end with Britt Baker getting beat. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Plain and simple. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, we go to backstage, and Matt Hardy is with Private Party about what happened with Hangman Adam Page. And he's like, well, they don't have it on here either, but it's fine. He's under loss. He says he needs to bring more money in with Page, what Page did to him. Has more than enough money to sustain his business. Says he signed someone new to the Matt Hardy Empire. It's the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. Of course, Private Party's not happy because they're the tag team. They want to be the tag team of this Matt Hardy Empire. How can Matt Hardy go out there and sign another tag team? Thus confirming that Butcher and Blade is going to stay heels and they're done with Eddie Kingston. Which is absolutely fine. Alright. So, then we go to the main event match. Scorpio Sky versus Darby Allin. TNT Championship match. And this was pretty good. Of course, Darby Allin competed in a street fight. Scorpio Sky competed in a ladder match. If Darby Allin was not going to be able to compete tonight, he would have had to forfeit the championship as per Tony Khan last Thursday on Unrestricted. Thankfully, that did not happen. Back and forth match between these two here. Scorpio Sky just could not put Darby Allin away. He puts him up in the top turnbuckle, Allin with some back and forth elbows to send. Sky to the mat. Allin tries for the coffin drop, but Sky counters right into the powerbomb for a 2 count. Sky locks in the TKO, but Allin rolls him up from the inside cradle for the 1, 2, 3. Somehow, someway, by the skin of his teeth, Darby Allin retains his championship. Allen gets his title, goes over the Sky, and gives him a pat on the back. Like, good job, man. We had a hell of a match. I'll see you again sometime. Walks away. Sky does not appreciate this. Ends up grabbing him by the ankle, puts him in a heel hook, and just continues to hold until it seemed like a good bit. And then he lets go eventually. He looks at his hands like, what the hell did I do? He has this look of, what the hell did I do? But he has that look on his face like, I like what I did. I really like what I did. So, yeah. And he leaves. So, as I mentioned, next week, Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston versus the Good Brothers. Cody with Arn Anderson versus Penta Zero Miyado. Jurassic Express and Bear Country versus Matt Hardy, Private Party, The Blade, and The Butcher. Jade Cargill will be in action, and Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. Unsanctioned, lights out, anything goes match. Then we go to the main event segment. Here comes the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle comes out. No Wardlow. Where's Wardlow? I actually just looking this where's Wardlow? Because I figured, oh, this is going to be it. Chris Jericho's getting kicked out of the Inner Circle, and this is where we're going to start all this. Well, Chris Jericho starts and is like, well, you know what? It's time. Every time a army needs a kick, when a great army needs to change its course, they have a war council, and that's what we're going tonight. He says the group has been on the decline lately, but they're the smartest in the business, and it's time for a new outlook. Maybe introduce a new member, and MJF's like, whoa, Chris. With all due respect, we don't need to add a new member. Maybe it's time to let someone go. Out comes Sammy Guevara. He says, Chris Jericho's like, wow, look who he is. Guevara says he knows he's here. He's the last person Jericho wants to see, but Jericho needs to see something. Jericho already said he's dead to the group. Sammy jumps in the ring and tells Jericho to look at what he has. He shows a video that he set up in the Inner Circle's locker room. Apparently, he still has keys to the Inner Circle's locker room. We get a fast forward to right before MJF makes his way into the room, and it was as we all thought. MJF was trying to take Chris Jericho out, apparently. He goes in there, he's like, boys, we've been talking about this for a while, it's time to send Chris Jericho on his way. They're like, sure, let's do this. So, MJF's like, I didn't want you to find out this way, but oh well, get him. So, Hager and Santana Ortiz head towards Chris Jericho. They're steadying up, and I'm like, of course they're not going to attach Jericho just because of the way they're doing this. They're like, and then they turn around to MJF. And Jericho's like, you stupid son of a bitch. Do you think we don't talk to each other every day? We were just waiting for you to hang yourself. So I was the one to bring you in. I'm going to be the one to take you out. And he shoves him down, says you're fired, and says, we're going to give you a good old-fashioned Inner Circle beatdown. Tony Schiavone on commentary is just loving every second of this. And MJF's like, I was not trying to take you into Circle, man. I swear. And Schiavone's like, oh, he's crying. And MJF says, because I was building my own. Lights go down. Takes a minute because, everyone has to get in the ring. Lights come back up. There's FTR, Shawn Spears, Wardlow, and Tully Blanchard. And they all beat the hell out of the Inner Circle. Jake Hager gets a bottle smashed over his head. Santana Ortiz get handcuffed and get spike power driver by FTR. Sammy Guevara gets a shot into a chair. Jericho gets hit with the diamond ring, hit with his bat, taken out to the stage, picked up and powerbombed off the stage. And we just see this new faction with no name so far, just standing there on top, over top of the prone Jericho body. And that's how the show went off the air. Holy shit, do not tell me you saw this coming. I don't care what any mark on TV on the internet says. Anybody on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Minds, Gab, Parler, wherever the fuck you do your stuff, not a single person saw this coming. And if you say you did, you're lying. So we have a new faction. The Inner Circle is 10 babyface. Where do we go from here? We do not know. But AEW still hasn't made up for... They will not make up for that until Tony Khan actually sits there and apologizes for even making that farce. But That's how you end the TV show. Showing us that. Holy wow, what a way to end the show. Don Callis needs to be removed from this whole entire Impact thing, but the only reason the Impact thing is happening is because of his friendship with Kenny Omega. So we have to suffer through that. Next week's going to be a St. Patrick's Day edition. Make sure to wear your green. Hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. Like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitter. Find me on Mine's at the France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/France Club. And find me on Instagram at the France Club. And I will see you guys Friday for SmackDown. Until then, mine is the France, and I'll see you guys later.